This week we hosted our very first Mother's Day afternoon tea and it was such a huge success. I thought today I would take you on a little behind the scenes tour of all the fun. I've also had my magic gold paint out again this week. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know how much I love my magic gold paint, and I've been working on something very special for the music room. I've also had a project going for a very unique light fitting in the pub, which I'm also going to share with you. And if you remember back a few weeks ago, we asked for your suggestions on names for our furry friends here behind us on our mural. And so today I'm going to reveal the names of our owl and our two squirrels. And don't forget, if you're enjoying our videos, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, The Ladysmith Manor Diaries, to ensure you see all our videos as soon as we put them out. But first, let me show you what we've been up to this week. We have 3 lights hanging above the bar here in the pub, and Stephanie donated 2 amazing light fittings that were her grandmother's, and we've actually put those over the bar and they're just perfect and so stunning. But the 3rd pendant in the middle has had nothing. It's just been hanging with a bulb, and we've been trying to figure out what's the best light fitting or the light shade and what we should do in that middle spot. And I've now come up with my perfect solution. Now, it's not all finished yet, but I've made the first step this week, and let me show you what it is. So I decided I wanted to put in the place in the middle of the bar on that light fixture, something quite British, something that has the tradition and really is a nod to the tradition of England, because we're creating an English style, quirky English style pub. So I thought of all sorts of different ideas and eventually have decided on a bowler hat. So I have bought this bowler hat, which arrived this week, and I have to say I was pretty excited, and it actually fits quite well. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut a hole right in the middle, and this is where the light fixture will go through the bowler hat. And then inside, I'm actually going to paint the inside in gold, so that when it hangs with the light fixture from the top there, the bulb will actually reflect from the gold paint and actually reflect, as you know, down on as a nice warm light. So like I say, very excited when this arrived. It's not all finished yet, because obviously Stephen's still got to cut the hole and we've got to actually put it onto the light, but we're one step closer, and this week we'll get this hanging and I'll be able to show you what the lights then look like with our bowler hat hanging pride of place above the bar. Let me take you on a little tour of our Mother's Day afternoon tea. Everyone was welcomed into our beautiful mural and our little photo booth, which we enjoyed taking photos in, and then asked to choose their very own vintage teacup that they could use for the afternoon. And we had a whole selection of colours and designs for people to choose from. And then they were taken to their table, and we had our music room and our reception room filled with tables. The fire was going, and on the table, tea was served with lots of yummy goodies. Vintage teapots were filled with a choice of Countess Grey, Darjeeling and English breakfast tea. And everyone went home with a tulip wrapped in a vintage book page and a Mother's Day card printed on seed paper that, when planted, will grow into wildflowers. With the ground now level, ready for our lawn behind me, this week we started the process of growing grass. We've sown the seeds, we've started obviously watering it regularly, and we've added some hay to just kind of keep the moisture in and to protect the seeds as they start to grow. Now, one of the big challenges is this week's been really windy, so we're now finding hay all over the yard, on the driveway, and not so much at times where it should be on top of the grass seat. But we keep putting it back, and we're, like I say, watering it a couple of times a day, and we're hoping that in the next week or so we'll start to see the grass seeds start to grow, and we'll then be able to have a lovely lush green lawn ready for our summer market. So I'm just working on creating something a little bit special for this corner on the walls. So I wanted to put up some pictures or frames that really kind of relate to the music room. So I decided to use my frame with my violin and bow in, which you probably will have seen if you came to our Christmas market because it was in the hallway. And then another frame here with my top hat, because I felt kind of the top hat, the violin, it felt like kind of the entertainment, the music feel. But this frame I'm using, it's got quite a dark, it's a beautiful frame, but it's quite dark wood, and I really want it to kind of pop a little bit more. So I think I'm going to take it down, and I'm actually going to paint it with my magic gold paint. So the frame itself has actually got the gold on the inside piece. It's then got this really beautiful piece of wood, and then the detail on the outside is also the wood. So I'm just gonna paint the outside stripe, or the strip of the wood on the outside with the detail, with the gold. I'm gonna leave the gold in the center, and then I'm gonna leave the natural wood in between the two pieces of gold, which will give it a nice contrast. So I'm just gonna put a coat of my magic gold paint all the way around, and then I can put it back up. So let's put this up and see how it looks. We just picked up a couple more treasures from the auction. And this week's find included these two corbels, which are quite adorable because they're actually very small, but they've got these cherubs on, and the detail in them is really quite amazing. I think they're kind of perfect for the manor look, and so we're thinking that we'll put them onto one of our fireplace mantles. We just got to decide which mantle. So that was our first find, and the other find we had was this table, and it's a very unusual shape, which really is what attracted me to it. It's got almost like a shield shape on the top, 3 legs with goes quite narrow at the bottom. I've never seen the table quite like it. So we picked this up, and again, this will be it'll be a nice little side table for either in the pub or in the green room with our couches. But just again, a little different, a little bit more unique. So I'm quite excited about our finds this week from the auction and the new treasures that now live in the manor. A big thank you to everyone who sent in suggestions for our names of our furry friends here in our mural in the hallway. Now we have our barn owl and we have our 2 squirrels, and we got lots of amazingly great suggestions. I find it so difficult to come up with names, and so when I saw some of your suggestions, they were so fun and so cute. It was actually really hard to choose which ones we were going to go with. But we have decided on our 3 names, and like I say, a huge thank you to everyone who sent in their ideas. But let's get to it. So the name for our barn owl is going to be Barnaby, which I just love. It actually was suggested by Janet and a couple of other people as well. So thank you for that. Barnaby is our the new name for our barn owl. So when you come to the manor, you'll have to say hi to Barnaby. And we now obviously have our 2 squirrels. Now they're quite mischievous, but we had so many great names. But the 2 names that we have decided on are Hazel and Chester. So again, Darlene suggested Hazel, Karen suggested Chester, but again, thank you to everyone who suggested different names. I loved all of them. It was really, like I say, very difficult to choose. But we have our three little friends. We have Barnaby, we have Hazel, and we have Chester. And they will all be waiting for you when you come and visit the manor next time, and you can see them in person and say hi. And like I say, our afternoon tea, our Mother's Day afternoon tea last weekend was such a huge success, and we've had so many people asking when we will be having more dates for afternoon teas. Now we have our afternoon tea on the 11th of June, it's actually fully booked already, but I've had so many people contact me and ask to be on our wait list, and if you would like to be added to our wait list, message me, comment below, send me an email, and I'll add you to my wait list. And then I will be sending out an email to all those people first when we release the dates and the tickets. And we are just confirming our dates. They will be in the next few months, and we will be putting in a couple more dates for afternoon tea. So like I say, if you would like to know when we are going to be, what the dates are first, before we put them onto social media, I have a list. So send me a message and I will add you to that list, and we will then send you an email with the information about them so you can book your tickets. But it was such a wonderful afternoon last weekend. It was so fun to have people in the manor enjoying all the yummy food and you know, just enjoying a very relaxing afternoon surrounded by this gorgeous Georgian manor and enjoying a very quintessential English tradition. So we cannot wait to do it again. And so I will be releasing, or I will be letting you know in our future videos what those dates are. But if you would like to be on that wait list, just let me know. And as I said last week, we will also be releasing lots more information about our summer market, which is on the 15th and 16th of July. So make sure that's in your diary. We are going to be releasing lots more information very, very soon. And we cannot wait for that event as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to get back to work, and I have lots of projects that I'm working on this week. Can't wait to show you where I've got to next week, and I will see you back here next week for our next episode of the Lady Speak Manor Diaries.